Start streaming. Start recording.
Nice.
I just have to check actual Facebook to make sure.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Here we go.
Yo, it's a thing! It's working!
Yes. There's some delay, so just turn that off. But
Right.
It's whatever.
But I'm so happy right now. Like, this is
sweet. Welcome to the first live fucking show of Geek Ronin.
right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we made it happen.
Finally fucking happened, because we're a bunch of fucking goobers.
Oh,
But it works now.
yeah.
Yeah. Right on. It's been a few weeks. It's been a
minute.
It's been a busy October. Like, holy fuck, it's been a busy October.
I'm totally done with October. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like messing with it anymore. I'm glad it's November. I want things to slow down. But it's, like, about to be holiday season, so that's not happening at all.
I'm doing my 4th consecutive no-shave November.
You shave like Tormund.
I started November of 2013, so this is year number 4.
So what you been up to? It's been, it's so weird, like, finally being live. Like, to all of our 6 listeners out there, maybe 5.
Yeah, maybe 5.
This is a crazy notion. Like, so much has been happening. So much has been busy. We all have, like, separate projects and things going on.
Yeah, it's been weird. This whole thing of pre-recording stuff and not having, like, a scheduled time that we have to go on every week. It's been really weird because we've been, like, incredibly inconsistent because now it's like, oh, well, we don't necessarily have to record at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, so we'll just figure it out each week.
Yeah.
And not how much longer I want that to last. I like having a weekly discussion about random fucking shit.
We've missed a lot of things, man. Like, there's a lot happening, going on that I feel like we skipped over. For sure.
Yeah, a lot of shit. Most, like, anything and everything Halloween that I wanted to do, it never happened.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you know what? That's fine.
Your Halloween? What was your how did you spend your Halloween?
How did I spend my? What day was Halloween? Tuesday.
Monday. No.
Monday.
Today's
no,
Thursday.
it was Tuesday, the 31st.
Tuesday. You're right. Tuesday.
Yeah, so it was a Tuesday. So
how much
I worked.
This.
I worked in the morning. Excellent. I worked in the morning, and then I came home, and I think I watched Taken.
That's such a not hard Halloween.
Oh, I know.
Halloween thing. That's so anti, like,
It's whatever. I just wanted to see Liam Neeson destroy fucking Paris. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to see Paris burn, and I wanted Liam Neeson to be the person that made it burn.
All right.
It's just what I don't know why. I mean, I watched a couple horror movies this year, but I mean, it's just nothing really tickled my fancy. You know what I mean? Like, nothing jumped out. Was like, oh my god, I have to fucking see that, like, right now. Like, if it was on Netflix or Hulu or HBO, like, there was nothing that I'm watching going, I mean, and I've got a decent fucking DVD collection, so I ended up digging into that, and I watched Gothica, which I love that movie. You seen that movie, Gothica, with Halle Berry?
No, wait. Is Gothica the one she's, like, in, like, a mental ward kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen it, but, like, not for a while. Like, probably since around the time it came out.
Probably one of my favorite movies. Well, favorite horror movies. I mean, there's so many different, even just types of horror movies. Like, I liked it because it had the horror aspect, and it was supernatural. Right. But at the heart of it, it was like a mystery cop drama too. Well, not necessarily cop drama, but it was like a mystery, like a murder mystery, but it had a huge horror aspect to it. So, like, supernatural and horror, and she was...
Also, really quick, I didn't play the intro. Like, I thought I did, but let's officially.
All right, yeah.
This is the boy you listening to. Geek Ronin. That's what we need. So now, we need to let us bring it.
Yo, this be the Darko of Danny. You're listening to Geek Ronin, not We the Geek, Tom.
Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Not We the Geek anymore. Now it is officially started. Shout out to, if you like that song, a band called Wedding Camp. One of my friends from a job in days past at a grocery store. That's her band, Rachel. Go check them out. I have both of their EPs. They're really good. Like it's straight up. It's what you just heard. That's pretty much what you're gonna get. If you're into that,
Nice.
then go over because they're awesome. Really cool guys and ladies.
Nice.
And thanks for letting us use it.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Are we? Well, Danny's not. Damn it, Danny boy.
Damn, Daniel.
Danny boy. I want to talk straight. I haven't finished season 2 of Stranger Things yet.
I haven't either, but I got Alyssa to watch Stranger Things, so we sat down and watched the whole first season straight through, and we watched the first 3 episodes of season 2.
Okay. So yeah, same here. So I got my girl into it, just before ImbionCon. So we've been hyped about it. I actually gave her, as a gift, the Prez Stranger Things mashup with Zach.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she loved it.
Love that. I love that mashup.
It was so good. Shout out to Zach. Shout out to Prez. Love those guys.
For sure.
So yeah, our Halloween, we had dinner. I cooked dinner at the house. Had some beers. I found Allagash White, which I might have after my Monster, but I found Allagash White, and I was like, you know what?
It's a nice beer. It's a good beer.
For Tommy, it is a really nice beer, and she enjoyed it herself. She said it was refreshing, which it was. It's a really
it's a white, so it's going to be very light, very crisp, and it's a Belgian beer, so it's crispy. And it's unfiltered, which is what I like most about it. It's not.
I actually ended up picking up some beer from the event that I worked. Well, not worked, but I went to last night for my job. We had a fundraising event, and I came back home with 12 beers. So that was always nice.
It's always a plus. It's definitely a plus. So what has happened in the world of ridiculousness and nerd fandom
all right,
that we need to talk about?
There's a lot, to be honest. I kind of want to delve into. I don't know if you caught my post. I shared a post about how Cyborg's face, the CGI, swap sides.
I'm sorry if you're nitpicking at this point.
I'm not nitpicking. I'm just why would you? That's a critical thing.
Yeah, but
that's not even nitpicking.
That also could be footage from something previously that's not final footage too. So
okay, fine. I hope
so. And quite honestly, even if they do have that fuck up, yeah, they should have more attention to detail. I agree. But when you're talking about something that's been reshot 4 times and it has 2 different directors and it's all people and they're bound to make mistakes. They've been making this movie for 2 years now, or something crazy like that.
You've also got a lot of stuff coming out of Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck's camp saying like they both don't feel confident in this franchise. They're like, Wonder Woman was really the direction they should have went with. They were trying to go too dark and gritty, and really like they're just like we're not too sure. Like from what I've been seeing on social media and like from like articles, a lot of people are just saying like they don't feel confident in the DCEU. Well, and these are the actors or people like close to the roles. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Well, not awesome that they feel that way, but I agree. Yeah, but how do you feel about it though?
I don't feel confident as a whole, but I do feel like it's still early enough that they can make critical changes if they do it correctly. It's not something where like we've said it in previous episodes and previous iterations of our cast that DC owns their own rights. You know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to work from a limited deck. You literally have all the pieces that you need. It's just a matter of how you play them. But if you try to do too much at once, you get lost in a lot of the lore that makes this like universe so great. That's just me. Do I think it's completely botched? No. The Justice League being the final factor could very well be. So I'm leaving it at like we have to see what happens. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
Because essentially, Justice League can be saving grace, or it can be a nail in the coffin.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And to be fair, I know all the hiccups and things that have been happening to get it even like finished. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take that into account. But I also feel like they don't have an idea of a shared universe hive mind mentality. They want to get these characters on screen and they want to make it feel all cohesive, with Suicide Squad and this, but as far as a cohesive, like overall universe, expanded universe, as it will, doesn't feel like that. Not even in the sense of like how Marvel has it. It just doesn't feel like, it feels too out of place with itself. And then you have stuff with like, the Deathstroke movie or this movie and that movie being solo projects, and I don't know if they're gonna tie in and blah blah blah. And that kind of falls into like where Tom Hardy is doing the Venom movie, but it doesn't connect to the MCU. When their Spider-Man connects to the MCU, why wouldn't you just have Venom? You know what I mean? Like that confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. Honestly, I think
Venom is a very, very, very big villain for the MCU if they play their cards right. Because if you introduce all the symbiotes and have that like as a global kind of threat, which it can be, very, very much so. Like, why wouldn't you? That's like a completely missed opportunity. But then again, it could just be Sony again being like, you know what? We don't feel like...
We're going to use you as a launching pad to launch a Spider-Man universe that actually will work. But as soon as we get hold of the films, we're just going to butcher them completely and wonder why the third try at a Spider-Man franchise didn't work out. But it did so well for the first two movies when it was in the MCU. I wonder why.
There's so much...
Honestly, for me, I feel like DC... if they really wanted to get into it, would have been smart to... I mean, I liked Man of Steel.
Oh, your cousin Adam says, "What's up, cuzzo?" I think them knowing that they are already getting heavily criticized means they would take time to try to make it a successful collection. I forget that we're like we have
on Facebook Live. Yeah.
Hello, our one viewer. I might be the one viewer. Who knows?
Yeah, you might be.
I might be.
You could be.
Oh, we have 2.
We have 2 now.
And then there were 2.
And there's comments.
3. And then there were 3. Look at that. We got this rolling. What's up? Shout out to Croc from the block.
Croc from the block, kid.
We need to get you a call in. You know, we gotta get you on the team.
Croc from the block. Hell yeah. No, what I was saying though is, if DC really wanted to put together a cohesive universe, but didn't want to do it the same way that Marvel did it, and also didn't basically want to play catch up, is they literally could have just done a Justice League movie like right out of the gate. Like, I liked Man of Steel. They could have easily done something spun off, like just done a second Man of Steel 2, but you could do like Man of Steel 2 War and have it be all of them coming together to, like basically do the war storyline, but have a different villain besides Darkseid, because you don't want to introduce Darkseid. Well, you might want to not introduce him right off the bat, but you could just boom right there, go into it, and then that way you're forced at that point to not do too much of their origin stories, like just the very, very basics. Because a lot of people will already know most of these characters, but you do just enough to sort of let the people that don't know what's going on necessarily with why they are like they are, you give them little tidbits throughout the movie, but you really focus on where they start in the film and where they end in the film character-wise, and develop them to a point where you can they have enough personality where they're distinguishable, and those personalities could even dictate like the style of movies that those characters would do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that way you don't have an origin story. Like, the origin story of the universe is the Justice League coming together and fighting off an invader. And then all of a sudden, all of these different people from different places in the country are just like thrown together, and some from even different worlds, depending on who you have in the whole.
I still feel like they. Oh, speaking of, all right, we're gonna lead into that. So, yes, they definitely should have gone the war option. I still want to know, because it feels like they're doing a lot of different adaptations. They're with Cyborg being in the Justice League, it's more of a New 52 feel.
Yeah. Which is funny because the Batman is most definitely Frank Miller, like Dark Knight Returns, right. Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Like, it's a lot going on. And then, like, even so, and I think I've argued this before, they make Batman out to seem like he's the one who rallies the troops and this, that, and third, when really he's the one who wants nothing to do with anybody. Like, he's pretty much like, call me when you need me. Otherwise, like,
leave me the fuck alone.
Right. Like,
it's my city. Get the fuck out of here.
It wasn't in War. I think it was in, like, Throne of Atlantis. And, like,
Aquaman's the one who originally called the Justice League together.
Yeah. But, like, you get like a threat like the one that Aquaman had, or what have you. I remember, like, in the in one of the movies, the animated movies rather. Shout out to the DC animated universe for being way better than stuff we've seen on film yet.
It's true.
People will argue with me all the time about that, and I'm like, they've been just winning. Like, I don't, but yeah, Green Lantern jumps on the jet and goes, "Hey, I need you," and Batman's like, "I'm in pursuit of a suspect. Like, leave me the hell alone." I think he grabs the suspect for him. and Batman gets mad at him because he's like, I could have gotten more information out of him by like interrogating and scaring him, but now you just wasted so much information. This and that third, and like that whole interaction, like that's what I need, and I feel like that's what I'm missing from like this version of Batman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's supposed to be that way. Like I don't know why he all of a sudden.
Well, Legion of Doom movie would be awesome.
Well, not Legion of Doom, just straight up Doom,
right?
Or War, I should say.
It would be awesome. However, like I don't know if we would get it this soon.
No, I feel like that would just be too much. Like,
yeah,
like you said,
I want it because a Doom movie would be amazing. However, it's one of those movies like where it can feel. I don't know if they can do it. Like it's too many people on screen at once, and that's a lot of it. It basically becomes an Infinity War, like on a smaller scale. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard thing to do. I would love to see Doom on screen, but I don't think they have the what's the word I'm looking for?
Capability?
Yeah.
To do it well enough for it to not just suck?
Essentially. Yeah. But
DC, why are you doing this
DC,
there? Well, this
you heard about the Zachary Levi casting.
Zachary Levi for what movie?
Shazam. He's playing Shazam.
Oh, nice. So I'm assuming that's the one that The Rock is going to be Black Adam in.
Right. But there's a lot of like, whoa, why? He's not this and da da da. It's always like negative feedback before there's positive. I am not thrilled about the casting, but I feel like I like Zachary Levi enough to like see what happens. Like after Chuck, he can almost do like no wrong for me. Like let's be honest. And even in the first Thor, he was homeboy with the sword.
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then they switched it to the guy from Once Upon a Time, to Prince Charming.
Yep.
The more you know.
Da, da, da. These are not the droids you're looking for.
So yeah, like I'm excited about that casting, but there's not enough of me to say that they'll make it that far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. They have so much potential. Like you'd think that they would have planned this better.
No.
Like you would. No, I really would expect that. Like these are fucking. These are companies that have become huge because of the way that they plan out the storylines. Well, not recently. Both sides are basically DC doing a better job than Marvel, but they're both basically just trying to sell as many fucking comics as they can right now. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if you really think about it, they've made their money, especially in the comics boom, on really, really good storylines and planning them out. And so it's like, why aren't you guys doing this now? Like, you know what storylines you have. You know the different iterations of all the characters.
Yeah. And it really is just a matter of transferring it to the big screen, adding dialogue, and like, I mean, I make it sound like it's so simple. And
it's totally, you know what I mean? It's altogether difficult as hell because you're using older storylines for some of these characters. Because I mean, you got Batman that's like and Superman that are been around for almost 80 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have a fuckload of fucking storylines. Right. So I mean, obviously you're gonna have to update and everything, but and this is where people piss me off because you can't have the exact adaptation, but you can't have too much of an original storyline.
What's the fine line then?
Well, it's gonna be different enough where you're not just pulling something from the pages of the book and you're seeing shot for shot, frame for frame of the different scenes and whatnot. But it also can't be so different that it's not respecting the canon. Or that's not canon. You always hear something like that. So, that's not canon. Like how come this is happening? That happened to this person, not this. And he should have been deaf. What's up?
So Croc asks, was Heath Ledger a good Joker or just a good villain?
I think the answer to that is yes. Because really, if you think about it, the reason the Joker has stuck around so long, not just necessarily because of the ridiculous things that he does and the way that he looks, but it's because he is such a good villain.
Right.
Like he is the yin to Batman's yang. Like if they're Batman's the greatest detective in the world, the Joker is the greatest villain in the world, hands down. So there's a reason. So if you can play a good Joker,
is Batman because he is who he is, or is he really popular and great because of his rogues gallery?
I think it's like a combination of both.
Right.
Like over the years, it's evolved. Like people liked the gritty stuff back or when it started with Batman killed people, and that's what sold comics was the he was fighting crime and he was the everyman's hero, that sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started building up this huge rogues gallery, and a lot of people started to like the rogues gallery. And then because he had the rogues gallery, and he had to be able to beat all of these people at some point. I mean, I know he's lost to different, he's been beaten by villains, but most of the time, especially in the early days, he was beating everybody. So, he had to get his skills ended up getting better by made better by the writers in order to be able to defeat these villains, and it just kept going back and forth. So the villains would get more outrageous and more convoluted. Well, not necessarily convoluted, but more complex. And then Batman would become more complex and back and forth. And that's where it is. And pretty much right now, I feel like we're at that midway point between transitions of the Rogues Gallery and Batman, or Batman and the Rogues Gallery, whichever way it's going. But honestly, Joker, if you can play a good Joker, you can play a good villain. So the answer would be yes. I think Heath Ledger played both a great Joker and a great villain, because really the way that Nolan wrote the Joker was just as a great villain. Right. He just happened to have a slight bit of theatrical stuff because he was a psychopath.
To be fair, even to some extent, I think they even mentioned that Christian Bale's Batman was theatrical. He was supposed to be this big, intimidating bat, and they're like, where the hell does this bat come from? Because essentially that universe, the Nolanverse, was very little, what's the word? Actual fanatical kind of stuff happening, fantastical, where don't see,
it was very grounded.
We don't see a Lazarus pit. We don't see Superman flying down from above. Everything's super grounded and super real world. But the idea of a bat being theatrical, the Joker was like, all right, I see you, and I'm just gonna up the ante. And I think that's really all it was him upping the ante.
Yeah, he saw almost to him a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
In Batman.
I still love that line where he's like, me and you are gonna be doing this dance for forever. You know what I mean?
A long time. Yeah.
So good. So good. I might actually watch that again today just because.
What happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
Yes. Dude, those lines are just so gold. And
but it's so true.
Yeah. it really, I mean, it's really the case for a lot of, you know, what made not only that movie, but made Heath Ledger's role so, like, cemented in a lot of people's mind. Like, I have people now who still argue that Jack Nicholson's Joker is their Joker, no questions asked. And I tell them, like, it's completely different context of Joker.
Oh, different. It's totally different style.
Right. So, like, Heath Ledger's my Joker because I feel like he's the closest Joker to, like, a Mark Hamill. Where he's just psychotic enough to have fun, but, like, just do it for the sake of doing things. Whereas Jack Nicholson played almost like the mobster, like, funny man kind of thing.
Yeah, it was most definitely the older version of the Joker with Jack Nicholson. Yeah. Same with Batman.
Absolutely.
And then Nolan did a much more updated. So, I mean, same pretty much personality type. Oh, sorry, Word's calling. I gotta call him back here in a second.
All right.
Oh, I'm just gonna message him.
But yeah, like,
no, don't worry about
it. I'm looking forward to, like, well, I don't know if I'm looking forward to it because what threw me off a lot about Jared Leto's casting wasn't so much his look or style, but his interactions or what his interactions would be with Ben Affleck's Batman. They're so dramatically different where, like, it doesn't feel like yin and yang. You know what I mean? They just feel like they plopped them from two different verses.
Yeah, definitely.
So, like, you know, for instance, if we have Affleck's or Batfleck's, you know, Batman being portrayed from Frank Miller's Batman, you know, Dark Knight series.
Dark Knight, yeah.
You know, I feel like they should have grabbed Jared Leto's Joker from that same universe. But I feel like his version is like an amalgam, like, of so many different types of Jokers or what potential Jokers can be. Like, it's a weird thing. I would have rather them gone, like, New 52 Endgame Joker.
I feel like that would have fit definitely the Batman style.
Right, because at that point, I think Joker was, like, like, he's always been completely off the rails, but I think at that point he was so just ready, like, for, like, he was ready to die, essentially. He's just like, fuck it, I'm taking everybody with me. He's, like, upping the ante as far as, like, his theatrics, what he's going to be doing, his tactics, everything just was amplified. You know what I mean? So I think I would have much rather seen that version of the Joker portrayed, because I think even with that, Leto would have been great for it.
Yeah.
I think this one's too much of a, like, stylized mystery kind of thing where the Joker has been wrapped in mystery since his origin. Like, there's literally been, like, you know, so many iterations. But I feel like this version, they're trying to push too hard to be like the, could it be Jason Todd? Could it be, you know, this? Could it be that? And, you know, was he the mobster before? Was he the, you know?
Yeah. Again, trying too hard. Trying too hard. I don't know what is so goddamn difficult. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me? Anybody who is actually watching this, can anyone tell me why it's so goddamn difficult?
One person on.
Yeah.
I think it's still me or Dave. Going for 35 minutes.
That's all good.
Where did your...
My cousin? I have no idea.
No, your feed went out just now.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hello. Hello, Governor.
Hello.
Puppet. Puppet.
There we go. You're back. Okay.
Oh, hooray.
That was really weird. But, alright. What's next on the docket?
The docket is huge. The docket.
Alright, we cleared DC so far.
For right now, yeah.
Right now.
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
We always bring it up and just, like, have, like, slight, you know, prison shank stabs towards it. We're just like... we just Charlie Murphy, like, fuck yo, couch it.
Yeah, right.
You're rich, son of a bitch. You can buy another one.
You can buy a new one. You're rich, motherfucker. You can buy a new one. Fuck your couch. What else? I've been trying to not pay attention to all of the stupid shit.
Yeah, same. It's been a bunch of things.
I'm excited for Thor.
Apparently, Thor is the most like
the best reviewed Marvel movie,
and I'm like, are they hyping this way too much? And then like, it's one of those things where like the sequels are always like hit or miss. So like for instance, Dark World wasn't great, wasn't bad, right?
Yep.
Even Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy 2
was as
better
good.
Or was as good as Guardians 1, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't amazing, you know, like the first one. It didn't leave me with the same feeling, rather.
Well, the first one was so damn good because nobody expected it. Yeah, all of the other Marvel movies had a similar cadence to them, and then Guardians of the Galaxy comes in just like, hey, fuck what everybody else thought this movie was going to be about.
They're essentially like the cool cousin that comes over for the holidays. That
right?
Everyone's just like, yo, what happened to your cousin so-and-so? And they're like, oh, yeah, he's been, you know, traveling the world and whatever the case is. And he comes back just like, what's up, bitches? Let's go! And you're just like, oh, it's about to be a good fucking time right now.
It's a good day. It's a good day, Tater. So, Thor.
Thor, I'm looking forward to. Kind of want to see where that Infinity Gem is, because apparently this is the last, you know...
This is the last one.
So, you know, hopefully they drop it in here, but I haven't heard anything. Like, they've been, like, super tight about this.
True, it could also be in Black Panther, too.
You think they would do that? I would... But, alright, if they're going with the idea that the Infinity Stones spell out Thanos, which they have so far. I don't know enough about the Black Panther lore to know where it would be placed in there.
True. I don't know. I'm just saying. It could be it might not even be in the movie, but it could be a cut scene at the end of the, you know, like an end slate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Who knows? I'm pumped for Thor, and Thor looks good, but I'm fucking super pumped for Black Panther. It looks so fucking boss, dude.
Panther? Like, I'm honestly, like, I was super, and I still am. I am very, very pumped for Thor. But Black Panther dropped that trailer, yo, and I was like, shit. I just, like, I immediately wanted to become the biggest fanboy, but I hate doing that because everyone gripes about it. They're like, "Oh, you're only a fan because of the movie or the you know, the TV show." I'm like,
who? First of all, who gives a fuck?
Right.
When someone comes into a fandom, they come into a fandom and they like it, then you should embrace them and be like, "Hey, if you really like the TV show or the movie or whatever, check this shit out."
Right.
If you like that, you're really gonna like this shit right here.
You realize I didn't really pick up my first Batman comic until college, being a huge Batman fan, mostly on the animated series, the movies, and anything else that I can pick up digitally. It wasn't for a while that I picked up a comic, and I wasn't not a fan. Like I liked a lot of the old stuff, but when Snyder came out, like Snyder grabbed the hell out of me for like what he did. Like I loved a lot of the older stories, but when I say like Snyder was the first person that I was just like, holy shit balls, like this is amazing. I could not drop a lot of his stuff down because him and Capullo are just that dream team right now. I still have to catch up with a lot of the old 52 stuff, and then I'll eventually get back into Rebirth at some point. But I'm waiting for trades anyway, so I have some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they should be popping those trades out sooner than they do, but that's just how it goes.
It takes a while. The only people I know who are like good on trades are Image, I think.
Yeah, Image is the only one that just busts out trades.
Alright, Croc is like, Marvel can make a great movie about a talking raccoon, but DC makes a movie about the most recognizable superhero, and I can care less. As a DC fan, I feel like I'm in a loveless marriage. Wow.
Ooh.
That
Slow clap.
Damn. Oof. That was pretty bad.
It hurts. It's nice. It hurts, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It's true, though. It's true. Loveless marriage.
We got a roommate.
Yeah. I know. If I had to choose between the two of them, I mean, I would probably say I'm more of a Marvel than a DC fan, but...
Based on the comics? Or
based on the comics that I've read.
Okay.
Like, if I was reading comics, I bought more Marvel than I bought DC.
Mm-hmm.
But I bought more independent, like, Image. Well, not necessarily independent, but someone other than Marvel or DC. I have way more issues of that stuff than either of them.
Right.
But if I had to choose between the big two, I would say it's probably more a Marvel fan. Mainly for, like, the X-Men. I was never really a big Superman fan.
Yeah.
I liked the Green Arrow. I got some of the classic stories for like Green Lantern, like Blackest Night and Brightest Day and that stuff. But that stuff never really said, "Hey, what's up?" The guy, little 5'0" guy that dresses in yellow spandex that fucking tears people to shreds with claws from his hand. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I also feel like I grew up with being a DC fan, DC fan more so, and a lot of people say, "Oh, you're such a DC fanboy," and I'm like, no, I'm a huge Batman fan, but I grew up more so with watching the X-Men animated series. I remember watching the X-Men movies growing up. I had something just now, and I completely lost my train of thought. Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man was a huge deal for me back in the day. And then even now with, like the Netflix series, especially Daredevil, like, that's, really been the thing for me. Like, granted, the Justice League cartoon and, like, Teen Titans and whatnot were, like, the really big collaborative effort cartoons that pulled me in, short of, like, the Batman vs. Superman, Superman's animated series, but there wasn't, like, a huge, pull for me as a humongous DC fan. I wasn't a huge Flash fan or whatever the case is, not until, like, the Justice League anime cartoons, but, like, individually for Marvel, like, I was a Spider-Man fan, I was a Gambit fan, or I am still, like, I loved a lot of those guys. You know, as far as getting into a lot of comics, I didn't get into a lot of comics until I was a lot older.
Same.
And it just, you know, that's the way the dice rolled. I would say I come from a nerdy family, but we weren't, you know, picking up comics and going to comics comic book shops every Wednesday. You know what I mean? So, you know, our fandoms and our stuff came from like TV, sci-fi. My mom's a huge Stargate, Star Trek person. My dad, we just got into Star Wars, but my little brother's a huge Star Wars fan now. My sister is a Star Wars fan. So we got our fandoms here and there, but we weren't heavy into the comics until we were, you know, well into our 20s, for at least the older siblings.
Yeah. Same here. I didn't get into it until way later. But, yeah, that's the way it goes.
Are you reading anything lately?
I'm trying to get back into it again. I don't know, nothing has been really, like, making me all that excited recently. Except for Saga. And I'm so behind on some of the other comics, it's just crazy to try and catch up right now.
I need to catch up on Saga, Paper Girls. Did I lend you Paper Girls yet?
No.
Next time you come down, or one, actually, I should be coming up sooner than later. I gotta let you know. Actually, I can let you know soon, but we'll discuss that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, definitely gonna pick up Paper Girls again and Saga. There was another one.
I stress to anyone that's watching this that likes to read comic books, you need Saga in your life.
Yes.
Like, you need that story in your life.
Absolutely.
If you like reading, if you like sci-fi, and
like the first,
I mean, it's like, everything.
Pages, like the first few pages of issue 1 alone, like, blew my mind.
All right, like, this is how I've had it described to me, and I like to describe to other people. It's basically Star Wars, but for adults.
Yeah. Yep. And it works. It just...
It does. I have no idea how Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples do that every month.
Early on, wasn't it Cliff Chang, and then it eventually became Staples?
It's always been Fiona Staples. Day one. She draws and colors everything.
Nice.
She's a fucking beast.
Mm-hmm.
She's a beast, and everyone should follow her art stuff, because it's just cool. She doesn't post very often, but when she does, it's just like, oh, that's fucking sweet.
Alright. I think that's going to wrap it up for this mock episode / just getting a feel.
Yeah, that's just figuring out. It's way better with Danny, because he always knows what's happening, so it's always just like, boom, here you go, check it out.
Yeah. We got the nice little image of Danny down there and Guy up here. And,
he's so precious.
Oh. Hi, Mark.
Yes. Hi, Mac.
But, yeah, we'll be doing more stuff soon with this, playing around a little bit more, getting on a schedule, which would be nice.
I hope so.
That's the plan.
We all hope so. So,
that's it for me and Tommy.
Yes, sir.
So let's shout out pages. You guys need to be checking out our page, of course, if you are on here, or if you haven't already liked, followed, and subscribed, the whole shebang. Geek Ronin is the Facebook page that you are on now. Check us out on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on Instagram. Twitter, for all of our stuff. Shout out to Danny. Follow him at Successfully Failing. YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Instagram, I believe Twitter and Facebook.
Yep, pretty sure same.
any more for you? Oh, shout out to the studios and Beyond Studios, of course. Our lovely, lovely crew over there. We got the studios, Ambient Con, Ambient Mag, the group, and Ambient Mag, the actual site. Catch all of our fun stuff over there. More projects coming soon. Let me see. Are you working on anything? You have any projects, things you want to share?
Not necessarily. I mean, I'm working on Odin. So, check it out on Facebook, Hail Odin. I think it's facebook.com/Hail Odin Comic. You can check out my writing page on Facebook. I am Thomas TBG, and that's the same thing for Instagram. If you like pictures of beards or records and stuff like that, then you'll enjoy that. Outside of that, I don't know. I can't guarantee your enjoyment. But yeah, you can find me there on the Facebook and the Instagram there,
All right. And I just dropped my new venture stuff. TAOS, TAOS, TAOS by Law. Working on a YouTube. Got the website up and running, taosbylaw.com. Facebook, Instagram. There'll be lots of photography, video, writing. Hopefully an event coming up soon. So much things in the works. So if we've been absent from this, it's because we've been busy on so many other things. But we will be back soon with the entire crew. That's
yes.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Peace out, guys. Stay moist.
Indeed.